seeking you in silence. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am.
Okay, we're going to look at these three questions in the short time we have. What is contemplation? What is contemplative prayer? And what is a contemplative-in-action? So we're looking at contemplation, the first point. The resurrection of Christ Jesus is the central tenet of our faith. It is what makes Christians just absolutely off the charts compared to world religions. No faith walk in any religious tradition comes near to the preposterous belief that the God of the universe married our DNA to let us know how dear he was to us, that we were to him, and that every gerbil and every camel and every tiger, and I'm sorry, every mosquito, everything created is so dear to him. It's our task to organize them, to trim the garden, and to make sure that we order the garden. We're in charge, not to despoil and ruin, but what the incarnation says is how beloved the whole cosmos is. From the galaxies in their billions to the genes on our DNA. That's the message. We're off the wall compared to other religions about the closeness of God. And then this business about a resurrection with detail, that it's physical, that it's not just a ghost, that it's actually this love union between God and matter is going to be manifest in our own rising from the dead. Well, put us in the funny farm. I mean, as far as world religion goes, we're really outlandish. We're scandalous. Now, folks, if that doesn't create wonder in you, I wonder if you've fallen asleep. Okay? So when we're talking contemplation, we're not talking about some big intellectual development. Oh, no. We're talking about wonder. The people who show us how to be contemplative are children. That comes out of the little kid. Or that even in a newborn or a child 3 months old, go and stand over the crib. Go and stand over the crib. And make a funny face. And watch the little hands start going, and watch that little toothless mouth break into a grin. The smile. The child at a couple of months is capable of wonder. The child is first of all contemplative. The baby, before it can reason, it tells you that your contemplative capacity has you since a child. I don't think men go fishing to catch fish. I think men go fishing to sit in that boat in the silence, watch the water lap against the boat, and just enjoy the sunrise or the sunset. I think men use fishing as an excuse for contemplation because they don't want to make it look so religious. Now, that's my suspicion. Now, you guys can answer to that. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but that's my conviction. And therefore, we don't have to work to be contemplative, folks. We need to develop what's already there since we were an infant. We marvel at the tiny fingers and toes of a newborn baby. We marvel at the design in someone's marvelous dress. We wonder at the gorgeous hairdo of somebody. We wonder at all the different skin tones. We wonder at the sunrise. We wonder. All you need to do is shift the object. When you shift the attention of your wonder to the resurrection and to the mysteries of faith, you stand there and just gape. You stand there with your mouth hanging open. That's the experience of your contemplative function, okay? It is for humans only. As far as we know, Fido cannot be filled with wonder. Your dog does not go to the end of the pier to sit with you while you fish or while you watch the sunset. He doesn't go to watch the sunset. He goes to be with you because you might have a treat. Animals, as far as we know, do not have the capacity for wonder. They do have full emotional range. All right, but to stand in awe of something, I haven't heard any evidence, okay? Therefore, this capacity for wonder is your doorway to transcendence. It shows us that the human is made for something it cannot comprehend. Now, there are two kinds then of contemplation. There's natural contemplation and religious contemplation, depending on what the object is. You've been doing natural contemplation since you were a baby. Now you are an adult and you have religious questions. You've entered into the Ignatian exercises. You have, the days of the 19th annotation or the full 30-day experience. And your senses have been awakened. You pray in a way to be filled with wonder. All right, so now, what is contemplative prayer? It's in contrast to meditation. Meditation is when your reasoning power is seeing the scene, entering the scene, smelling the scene, touching the scene. But when you arrive at that point where your mouth is just hanging open, stop. Contemplative prayer goes on and off in the midst of meditation. It's not a once and for all for many people. The many people, we ask ourselves, well, am I meditating or am I contemplating? You are meditating when your reason is helping you and your imagination is helping you. When suddenly they just stop and you feel just grasped by the scene, grasped by God, you experience your soul staring at something. You stop. It's stillness. And you just gape at something, at the mystery of it, at the wonder of it. And what people do to keep thinking, to keep doing the meditation, is because they don't know what to do with themselves. When that contemplative moment comes in the midst of meditation, you are totally helpless. You're like someone who someone has taken into their arms and covered you with kisses, and you don't know what to do with yourself. You're absolutely helpless. Those of you who are in married life and those of you who are active sexually, you know what I'm talking about. All right? That's the closest example I can give to you, is sexual captivation. That we are absolutely caught up in the wonder of another person or caught up in the beauty of that person. It is a gift. It's a capacity for wonder, but it makes you vulnerable and helpless. That's why there's such controversy about dealing with sexual energy. But it is the best comparison. So contemplative prayer, I'm positing to you in this presentation as something that comes and goes. It's not that you're suddenly in contemplation and you never go back to meditation. I don't think that's realistic for a lot of people. Most people's experience is that they will take out their dear scriptures and they will begin to do Lectio Divina, and they will begin to ponder that whole scene, and all of a sudden there is the nativity, and they're sitting in that stable on the floor and watching that little baby in that feed trough, and Mary picks that little baby up and looks at you, and she knows she wants you to come, and she comes and she puts that baby in your arms, and you're gone. That's all. Maybe he's going to play patty cake on your cheeks. You're gone. That's when the meditation moves to a contemplative type of prayer. And you just gaze, you just look, you just drink in. So then what is a contemplative in action? If contemplative prayer is what I'm going to call the God gaze, or the being just in the moment of stillness of absolute wonder at the mystery, then what is a contemplative in action? It's an overflow of somebody who prays like this. The praying is going to be meditation, contemplative moment, meditation, contemplative moment. And sometimes I'm going to open up that scripture and a word is going to hit me and I'm gone. And I'm just gaping at the word. I'm not going to meditate that day. I'm just going to sit looking at that word, and I'm going to suck on that word like a piece of hard candy until I get to the raspberry in the middle. Now, I'm sorry, that's a graphic image, but that's what contemplative prayer is. It's keeping the moment of just soul staring. I'm calling it soul staring. It's when my soul just stares at the religious wonder in front of me. And sometimes extroverts are going to move to this through nature. Extroverts very often are led to moments of it like this through external things, not for the introvert. The introvert comes from the inside out. Very often the extrovert will do outside in. I want to emphasize here that when we're moving into the active overflow from this type of prayer, that the importance is not technique. Sorry, there is no one right way. No. The question to ask is what do I want? What do I want? Remember, that's the Ignatian question. What is my loving desire? What is my soul baited by? I'm being baited by God. And he's hanging bait in front of me. What do I want? If I want to be in union with him and to remember that presence of that risen Christ during the day, then I've got to train my consciousness to keep doing a checkpoint Charlie all day long. That's what Brother Lawrence did. He was that little guy at the door. But in between time, it was like he would go back and lean back into God and say, "Are you still there? Are you still there?" That little guy knew how to do it. I can't stress either the importance of Lectio Divina here. Lectio Divina is helping us come from the realm of common sense and the realm of folding the laundry and the realm of cleaning the toilet and the realm of making the bed and vacuuming the floor and the realm of washing the diapers and the realm of fixing lunch. All of those precious human things to an awareness of the risen Christ. We've got to shift gears, and we train our consciousness to do that often during the day. Pretty soon, the consciousness has a habit, eh? It has a habit. And in between, it's going to go say, "Are you still there?" and lean back against that good shepherd whom we cannot see. So what we do, besides our very respect of Lectio Divina, that we always begin our prayer with that divine word, because that's where we meet the risen Christ in his word. that very, very often that's the springboard into our own contemplative moments. Now, that's more so by nature with an introvert. The extrovert can even get triggered by beauty in nature very easily. And the more the introvert gets balanced between introversion and extroversion, the more it'll be both and for an introvert. And the extrovert has to learn to go interior and look for it. We each have our different challenges. Attentive, grateful wonder in the flow of daily activity is the key. Thank you for the sunrise this morning. Thank you that I got out of bed and my back didn't hurt as much as usual. Thank you that it's a clear day and the sky is blue. Thank you for all the green grass and all the budding trees. Thank you, all day long. Grateful wonder in the natural realm. Thank you that the dryer didn't break down and all my clothes are fresh and dry, and I can put them in the drawers, and they're the commonest, ordinary, simple things to be grateful for is the best creative, work on your own consciousness to be the springboard into contemplation in action. It means wonder of all around you, the face of your children and your grandchildren, the beauty of the fact that you can be with those people even online. All of that can be a trigger to being a contemplative in action. This is not something that you got to have a PhD for. This comes from desire. And there are little people who've never had a day of schooling in their life who are filled with the desire for God and are walking, living contemplatives. I'm talking about Native peoples. I'm talking about Guatemalans who are suffering tremendous threat from terror groups, and they're becoming refugees. I'm talking about people who are down on Skid Row. I'm talking about people who are homeless. They are very, very often the contemplatives among us because they're so grateful. So that's where I'm going to leave it. It is not that difficult. He says this in John's Gospel, and it kind of goes right over our heads. On that day, what day? On the day of your awakening, you will know that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you, and you will be amazed. And then you will be a contemplative in action. Now, the little bibliography that I gave down below is something that is very practical. And then those authors, both Araj has died. Jim is no longer among us. And Phil St. Romain is still with the sisters, Dominican Sisters of Great Bend. He's semi-retired. He is someone, a married man who has been long the spiritual director in their spirituality center. So his works are on that source. You can look it up.
Here I am, standing right before you. Here I am, trembling at your word. Here I am, seeking you in silence. Here I am.